Hello. Hello, can you hear me? Yes, okay. All right. So today's class is going to be about resume writing. And in this class, I'll be showing you, good afternoon, Varsha. In this class, I'll be showing you a few good resumes. I mean, see, these are good because of the way they are presented in. Okay. The content is lorem ipsum, as in it's just a blank content. Okay. But I'll be discussing in detail how do you construct a resume, what are the important points while you're constructing a resume. And in case you have any doubts regarding the resume, you can just obviously text me about it. Okay. Now, let me just quickly share the screen. How come the participants are very low today? Guys, just give your friends a call. Tell them today's resume class because all of you were very excited about resumes, right? So can you see my screen now? You want to highlight your skills as well as give good knowledge about your academic qualifications and everything, I would ask you to go for a combinational resume. Now, I don't expect you to remember all of this, and because I don't expect you to remember all of this, I'll write all of this down. But in today's class, I won't be using a lot of my ink, a lot of my digital ink. Instead, I've gotten you an example for every single small thing. But every single time I start a resume class, there are at least a few people who raise their hands and ask me, so what's the difference between a resume and a CV? For that matter, my own sister is in BTech and she does not know the difference yet. She's in first year, so there's still time for her to know. So, how many of you have had this doubt? How many of you have asked this to your teachers before and you've not gotten a correct answer, or you've not gotten any answer for that matter? Wow. Oh, wow. So many of you have asked this question. Kya? Oh my God. Almost 22 to 24 hands raised. Wow. Okay. Wow. So many of you are asking. Resume is for industry and CV is for academic professionals. No, that's not the only difference. That's not the only difference. The only reason that's a difference, Prasanna Kumar, is because of the amount of content that you have to put in a CV versus the amount of content that you have put in a resume. If you are an academician, for example, if you want to appear as a professor of your college, you'll be highlighting all your research experiences. And that's hard to put in a page. Okay, this is history. I have more than 50 hands raised for this question. Wow. So many of you are completely unaware of this. Yeah, nice. Okay, so here, this is the difference. Okay, a curriculum vitae is usually long. Okay, how long? As long as it needs to be. As in, it's very, 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 very detailed. But a resume is short. Okay, yes, resume maximum to maximum keep it for 1 or 2 pages. That means 2 sides of a page. Okay, when I'm saying 2 sides of a page, doesn't mean you take printout on front side and back side. You'll keep 2 separate pages only. Okay. See, let's try to understand why this content needs to be so, brief or detailed. In a curriculum vitae, you will be listing not only your education and academic backgrounds, but you'll also be giving detailed background of your qualifications. Okay. So, for example, if I were to write a curriculum vitae for myself, if I am highlighting digital image processing in my curriculum vitae as an image processing researcher, if I'm highlighting, I'll talk to them about all the technologies that I've worked with. Okay. I will talk about all the different companies that I've been a part of in that technology specifically. And I'll tell what exactly has been my role in that particular company. Okay. Whereas if I were to just give a resume, that is just for me to get a chance to meet the interviewer. Okay. So think of it this way. Think of it this way. When you go on to any data site or any other kind of site, like let's say you're browsing Zomato for that matter, there'll be dishes in one list. That is your resume. Now, if you click that dish, you'll get a brief description of that dish, right? That is your curriculum vitae. If I put the descriptions along with the dishes, it's going to be a curriculum vitae. And a resume is usually very short. It's just giving you points, enough number of points for the interviewer to like you enough to right swipe you and bring you to the interview. Okay. So that's the basic difference between a CV and a resume. Now, as I've told you, there are three types of resumes. The first one is chronological, or more commonly nowadays people are using a reverse chronological resume. Okay. What do I mean by a chronological resume or a reverse chronological resume? See, chronology, this word chronological comes from the Greek word chron. Meher, is it that you want to copy the first slide? Because all of these are uploaded. Even grammar, once I finish the grammar class, I'll upload that. Because I'm still waiting to finish subject verb agreement in grammar. Once I finish subject verb agreement, I'll upload that PPT also. So if your aim is just to write things down, I don't think you should waste your ink or paper on that. But anyways, here's your previous slide. So do let me know when you're done with this. I'll go to the next slide. Guys, if any of you want to look at this slide, please do look at it. If you're done, please type Y. I'll move forward. Okay, Meher, you're done? All right, good. Good. So now, chronological, as I was saying, it comes from the Greek word chronos. Okay, this is actually not the right spelling because this is the spelling in English. In Greek, it is chronos. Okay, and unlike Thanos, this means time. So chronos means time. And logical comes from the word logia. Okay, the English word for this is logi. Okay, this means study of. So chronological basically is the study of time. Get it? So if I'm putting any events in the order in which they have happened, in the timeline order in which they have happened, for example, in let's say in 2020 you are passing 10th standard. Okay, 2022 ideally you'll be doing a 12th standard, right? And if you are good enough in 2022, right? Yeah, so 2026 you'll finish your engineering, again provided you are not taking any break, right? So this is called as a chronological order. Okay, so I have done this thing first, then this thing, then the rest. But nowadays, most interviewers are preferring a reverse chronological order. Okay, that means in 2026, I've done my BTech in electronics and communication from GVP. Okay, and I got a score of 8.5. Okay, whereas in 2022, my second most qualified qualification is nothing but 12th standard. Okay, and where did you do your 12th standard from? Let us say again GVP for sake of simplicity. How much did you get? You got an 85%. Again in 2020, you were in 10th grade, okay, from GVP, and again you got 85%. Okay, so this is a reverse chronological order. All right. Now, what do you need to know about reverse chronological or chronological order? These are the most common types of resumes that you see out there. Okay. So I know a lot of HR, interviewers. I know a lot of HR people who are bored looking at these resumes. Yeah, Manohari. Yes. So if you're having parallel certifications in the same academic years, you have to mention the one you started before or the one that is of the higher degree. You were telling me that you have a BA in Hindi as well as intermediate, right? So you'll be putting BA in Hindi before and then intermediate. Okay, Manohari, am I clear? All right. I'm really sorry on WhatsApp. I've been sick, so I'm mostly sleeping. I've not seen any messages from morning. Okay. So I actually wanted to apologize to Girish sir also. Girish sir also texted me in the morning regarding something, but I was very sick. I couldn't even wake up today. So yeah. Anyways, don't worry. It's not Corona. It's still not Corona. Okay. Yeah. It's most likely not Corona. So anyways, the second thing about chronological resumes that you need to know is that they demonstrate continuous work history and professional growth. As in, you have to tell me year after year what you have done. Okay. See now, in case you have taken any break after your what do you say? Maybe engineering, you have taken a break of 2 years. Why you have taken is not an important question here, but let's just say that you have taken it. Okay. So if you have taken a break, I would not suggest you to write it in a reverse chronological manner. Okay. Yeah, Manohar, I will be showing you all the resumes of each type. Don't worry. I'll be showing you resumes. See, to be very honest, you can even go and make your own resume right after this class online. Okay. There are a lot of free resume builders. Okay. So it'll be very easy for you, but that should not be an issue. I'll show you all of it. Now, the third and the most important point about chronological resumes is that the most current work is listed first. Okay. Why? Because I want you to always write a reverse chronological resume only. There's no point in me knowing that you've done, you've had a science exhibition prize in your 10th standard before you tell me that you were the topper of your university in your engineering, right? What is more important to me? Knowing that you were the topper of your university. So always use a reverse chronological format. This is the easiest format, but again, mind you, that is the format that has been most commonly used. Okay, and when I'm saying most commonly used, almost 90% students use this. So are we clear with this format? Can I move forward to the next one? Now look, I will show you examples of this at the end of the class. First, I want to tell you all the theory of it, what all are involved in a resume, how do you make it, and then I'll go and show you the examples. That will be very clear for you. Okay, now, the second one is a functional resume. So the main challenge over here is going to be connecting all work or education experiences that tie you directly to the job. Now, why is that the main challenge? Because your skills are more in focus. Okay, as we've seen in the first point, your skills are more in focus than your work history. That means you are trying to appeal to the kind of jobs that require you to demonstrate higher skills. Maybe if I have a job in a ship, okay, I want you to show me the skills like discipline, teamwork, and all. Instead, if I have a job maybe as a steel plant manager, okay, in the production side, I want to see your industrial experiences more. Okay, so a functional resume is always trying to highlight the most relevant skill set to the job listed. Okay, for example, if you know that this is the job and these are the kind of people who take that job up, I want you to portray yourself as that kind of a person. Okay. So if you want to go into software engineering, I want you to tell the guy that, hey, look, I can code in these languages well. Instead, if you tell, sir, I got 90% in my 12th standard, he's going to laugh at you, right? Yes. So functional resumes emphasize a lot on skills rather than the work history. Okay. Which is why if you have done a lot of different things in your life and you've acquired a good number of skills, like maybe teamwork, confidence building, public speaking, any of these skills, okay, I would suggest you to use a functional resume rather than a chronological resume. Okay. Now, it's 3:48 in my watch. Please take time to 3:50 and ask me all your doubts about functional resumes and chronological resumes. Go ahead. Okay. So campus placement, which one is the best? I have not told you which one is the best yet. The best one is combinational resume. Okay. Does break in chronological resume matter? Yes. Yes. If you're writing a chronological resume, the break is going to be a big deal. What's the main difference between functional resume and chronological resume? Well, the challenges are the main deal, Kana. Okay, Bharadwaj, Durga Bharadwaj, if you look, the most difficult challenge in your functional resume is you connecting all the work experiences. Okay, because you're highlighting your skills. Whereas in your chronological resume, the main challenge will be why or how did you get the skills while you are getting this work experience. Okay, all right, next, Shruti. As freshers, it's better to have chronological resume. Yes, yes, it is. It's better, but yeah, it's boring for the interviewers. Okay, so which one is better, reverse chronological or functional? Which one is better amongst those two? Functional. Okay, but the best one is a combinational. Sir, if we are good at GD but not having any certificate of that, can we keep it as a skill? Yeah, sure, why not? You can always have it as your skill. But what do you mean by GD? Group discussions? That means your communication skills are good? Divya, is that what you're asking? Okay. If functional says more about skills, then we should use functional or chronological resumes. You should not use either. You should use a combinational resume. So I have 1 year of work experience in a core company. Which type of resume is best suited for me? Ashok, for you, I think the functional resumes will be better if your core company, whatever you have studied or worked in, you're going to go into the same type of job. Okay. Srinivas, I attended a session on your resume building, but he says that we do not include objective in the resume until they ask. Okay, so let me put it this way. If I don't know why I'm looking at your resume, why the hell should I look at your resume? Srinivas, your objective is basically why I should hire you. Why? What do you want to do in my company? If I don't know what you want to do in my company, why should I even look at your resume in the first place? Do we have to mention the programming languages only when certified in it? No. Because look, if you are already a computer science engineer or something, or maybe electronics, you can also say that I've learned these programming languages in my college. In what do the skill sets of various jobs vary? Oh, that you'll have to go to the career section of that particular job portal and check. Is it true that single page resumes are better than long resumes? Obviously. Kamal, think about it this way, okay? If I'm giving you 10 pages to read about me rather than me just giving you one page to read, which one will you prefer? Divya Sang Divya, what are you saying yes for? I'm sorry, the chat is gone. Does chronological emphasize on experience and functional skill set? Yes, it is like that, Aditya. My name is too long in the certificates. What should I? No, you should write your full legal name. I'll be discussing about that. Don't worry. Kantimati Sai Prashant, can we keep URL of certificates in resume and coding profiles in resume? Yes. Yes. As long as you're submitting a digital resume. Okay. But if it's not a digital resume, I'd rather prefer take a print out of it and keep it in your file. So if we have more skills than studies, which one do you suggest? Divya, obviously I'll suggest you to go for a functional resume in that case. Okay, which part in resume weighs more? Yeah, I'll be discussing that, Teja, don't worry. Vamsi Manohar, is it necessary for us to manifest our communication skills by having some certificate? No, not at all. Not at all. So this is a true story. I have more than 400 certificates in, elocutions, debates, essay writings, all of these together. Hell, I've done more than 300 debates in this country. Okay, not even a single company opened my file to check my certificates. Not one single company. Okay. So do hobbies really matter? Like mentioning them? Yes, obviously they matter when you are putting it on. Especially if you're putting it on for government jobs and all, they matter a lot. Okay. Is it necessary for us to manifest our communication skills? Vamsi, I think I just answered this question, Nana. Okay, public speaking, you said yes. Okay. Aman, is it good to mention all the certificates that we have? Yes, obviously, it's very good to mention all the certificates you have. Should we keep strengths in resume? No, you should not keep your strengths and all. I'll tell you what all you can put in a resume. Just let me cover the different types of resume and then I'll tell you all of it. Okay. Vishesh, you'll have to talk to Girish sir about the video. Does it weigh more if someone has more certificates? As I'm telling you, Guniseti, uh, look, to be very honest, no one's going to open your certificates and check. But yes, the more you have worked, the more skills you have acquired, the better you are. Okay. Which type of hobbies you prefer? Wait, as long as I'm not hiring you for a particular job, I don't think I am qualified enough to answer that question to you. Okay, see, if you're asking which hobbies I prefer, that's my personal opinion. No, I prefer soft skills over anything that's very very hard. Yes, yes. Ashok Kumar, as you're saying, you're right. I don't know why Kondura is asking you not to write about objectives and all, but what you're saying is correct. When you're building the resume, objective is very, very important. Okay. See, you have to obviously never copy an objective from the internet. Okay, because let's be honest here, it's what you want to do in a company. If that also you're copying from the internet, then why the hell should I even give you a job? I mean, does it even make sense? If you don't know what you want to work as, what is your 4 years of education worth? So before you make a resume, obviously you have to put an objective. That's one of the main parts of a resume, yeah. But I don't know how people can tell you to leave the objective just like that. If there's no objective in a resume, I will not even look at that resume. I will simply throw it out because that's the first thing. That's the first thing that comes in the resume. You write your name, your address, your phone number, your email ID, and then you write your objective. You tell why you want to work in that company. What do you want to do in that company? If I don't know what you want to do in my company, why the hell should I look at the certificates you have? I mean, look, it's common sense. And people who are telling you that you don't need an objective in your resume, I think they lack common sense. Very, very equivocally, I'll call them out. They don't have common sense. Anyways, if we have certificates in digital, we should take a printout of it. Preferably. Okay, should I mention my leadership positions? Yes, you should mention your leadership positions. Yes, I will show you some examples of resumes, but first let me just finish all the types of resumes and tell you how to make things. Okay. Does objective change according to the company we apply? Yes. Yes, Sridhar, objective changes every single time you apply to a new company. In fact, not only objective, your skill set also changes. For example, my first job, the skill set that I showed was learning programming languages. I knew 6 programming languages, I showed it to them. Okay. My second job as a teacher, I did not even mention about programming languages because what does an English teacher have to do with the programming languages that he learned? Just tell me that one question's answer. So my objective definitely changed when I was applying for Lucid Software to be an image processing researcher. My objective was very clearly to grow in a research company as a researcher and perform things that would help my nation. When I came to education, I wanted to create awareness and make the students or make the younger generation fall into a streamlined form wherein they are choosing their own education. These are two very different objectives. Okay, and I remember them because I wrote them myself. Okay, you're not supposed to copy it from internet. You're not supposed to leave it off. You're supposed to write it. If you need help, you have my number. Okay, if you need help, you have my number, but don't leave it. Okay. Anyways, let me just move forward. See, when people tell me I don't want to write objective in a resume, I get very mad. According to SSC and online certificates, consider. Yeah, so no, see, so what's your surname? Is it Akondi or is it Vyas? Whatever is your surname comes last, according to India's, South Indian culture. Okay. Anyways, a combinational resume is designed to show how your history, work history, and your functional skills apply directly to the job that you are taking place. Okay. And these combinational resumes will tell the employer that you have both experience and skills that matter. Okay. Now, within the work experience, I first want you to place your skill sets and then the previous work history. Okay. So this will encompass 60% qualities of a functional resume and 40% of a what? Chronological. What is wrong with this pen? And 40% of chronological resume. Okay. Yeah. Now, to all of my dear friends who have attended the Condura or NPTEL sessions on resume writing and who have learned that it's not, it does not matter if you write your objective or not. Please look at this slide of my PPT, okay? Because I've been taking this in multiple colleges. I've taught this in at least somewhere around 12 to 14 colleges in your state, okay? And if it's not, if we are talking about other states, I've taught in at least 30 colleges. Okay. So yeah, these are the 4 main sections of a resume. The first one is the heading. Then comes your objective statement. And I repeat, objective statement. Okay. And what does an objective statement mean? Objective statement means why and how do I want to work? Okay, what is my motivation to work? Yeah, I'm writing it. Teja, look at the screen. And what exactly will I get from working? Teja, are you able to see the screen? Hey guys, are you all able to see my screen? Yeah, okay, then cool. Okay. Fine. So these are the 4 different sections of the resume. Shruti, you asked, I heard that past achievement should not be mentioned in resume. Like, for example, I served as school captain in 10th class. Can this be mentioned? Now, that's a very nice question, actually. So, if you do not have a lot of other achievements that are very contemporary, that are very of recent times, then yeah, mention it. Otherwise, see, usually why we say such old achievements don't need to be mentioned is very, very simple reason is we have a lot of new achievements now, Kana. If you're a fourth year engineering student and the biggest achievement you can show is that you served as school captain in 10th standard, then I should be worried what did you do in these 3-4 years? Okay, so that is the problem. Okay, now the third point is your skills and the fourth point is your work experience. Now I'll show you all of these things, don't worry at all. Now these are the basic rules. Okay, I want you to keep these 5 basic rules in your mind. Okay, each section should be evenly placed. No, Jagan Mohan Rao Siriki, it's definitely not okay to put your negative hobbies in a resume like playing cards. Look, why would you want your interviewer to know that you like playing cards, dude? I mean, how? Why would you want someone who is going to give you a job to know that you like playing cards? Even if you tell me that I like playing chess, I would still tell you, why does an interviewer need to know that? But maybe you can tell that you are a good strategic mindset and all is developed by playing chess. Cards are probability theory. Sirisha, yes, you should mention about the sports certificates, but again in brief. Okay, in emoji, 100 certificates, 100 for example, see in my resume, I have written about 3 competitions, one that I've organized, 2 that I've won, and 1 that I participated. Only 4 competitions I've mentioned. Okay, but if you look at it, I won more than 100 in this country. So only the important ones you mention, the others you don't need to mention, guys. Okay, now, yeah, NSS and NCC certificates definitely you mention. If you have, C cert, the highest certificate level, you have to mention Nana, Ruchita. So if you are a C certificate holder of NCC, definitely mention C certificate. And if you are applying for government jobs, that will be giving you brownie points also. No, you should never, ever, 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 ever add anything that's false in your resume to impress the HR guy, because the HR guy will just take you into the company and leave you there. Everyone else in your company will have a very bad time with you and they'll throw you out of the company. Now, 90% of the private companies, they check for you 6 months and then they'll throw you out. Okay, so never ever put anything that is false in your resume. Guys, you have a lot of doubts. So we'll have to take 2 classes of resumes in that case. I'm pretty sure I won't be able to finish this in 1 class. But anyways, the basic rules again, let me tell you. Each section should be evenly placed. That means you can't place 2 sections really close by. If you're leaving 1 or 2 lines gap between a section, you should leave the same gap between all. Now, my experience tells me that the best or the ideal amount of gap to leave is 2 centimeters. How do you do that? In Word documents, you have spacing. Yes, if you know skills like Photoshop, you can also make your entire resume in Photoshop to highlight that you know Photoshop. Okay? Now, if you don't have any hobby, Ruchita, get a hobby. Quarantine is good for getting hobbies. Start reading a small book, maybe play guitar, keyboard, anything. Temple Run doesn't count, okay? Yeah. Okay. Now, keep sentences short and crisp. Look, when I'm having a 1-page resume, I just want to know what you've done in a very ideal manner, in a very short manner. Okay, na? So just don't elaborate a lot of your points in the resume. Just keep them short and keep them crisp. Always remember your content is very important. So grammatically, there should be no mistakes. Okay. Make sure you're sending your resumes for proofreading to an expert after you are done making your resume. Okay. Yeah. You can mention any artistic skills. Yeah, even for a tech person, you can mention them as hobbies. That's not going to be a problem. Okay. And the 5th and most important point, look, every time you are writing something like work experience, I want this to be bolded and underlined. Okay. If you are mentioning the names of colleges or names of competitions or names of institutions, then italicize them. Okay. italicizes, make them slanting. Okay. Now, if you are having a first prize or something, underline it so that we understand what is your important thing in that part. I see. Ideally, the amount of work you're reducing for your interviewer, that much he'll be impressed by you. Because let's understand this one small thing here. See, right now I have how many participants are there on this? I have 380 participants on my chat. So the more number of messages are coming, it's going to be a difficulty for me to answer all the questions, but I'm still answering, no? Yes. But the same way, an interviewer, if he has 400 resumes on his table, do you really think he'll be able to remember what's on each of those resumes? No, right? So if you're underlining things, it's faster for him, no? So he'll be impressed by you. Reading newspaper is a habit, it's not a hobby. Okay? Is there a risk of being questioned deeply about the sport we mentioned in? Yes, there is. That's not a risk. If you tell it's your hobby, you should know about it. But yeah, Bhavita, yeah, they can ask you anything about the sport. For example, I play basketball. So if you ask me what is a wing position or who stands at the zero, I should be able to answer you. If I don't even know what the zero and all is, then what's the point? Yes, you can definitely mention about any participation workshops. Okay. Now, the first part of a resume that you should know about, guys. Now pause your doubts for a minute. Let me at least go forward with what is there in a resume. Then you can ask me your doubts. Because let me tell this to you very honestly. I don't know where you've heard about resumes, where you've seen about resumes, what you know about resumes. But when you're asking me things that I'm not already told you, that's only showing me that you're asking me things from your own perspective, and that is going to be very hard for me to explain you. See, if you already have a negative base about something, you already have some misconception about something, okay, then me telling you the right things, you won't be able to absorb it. Come to my class with an empty mind. Come to my class with an empty mind, and then you'll be able to understand a lot of things because I'll tell you everything with a reason here. Okay? I won't say you have to just put this there and go away, no? I'm making sure that all my classes have reasons about them, no? Now, ideally, when I'm teaching you grammar or vocabulary, I don't need to give you any reasons, but I'm still giving you the reasons how they are coming, no? So please trust me. I will tell you about everything, and then you can ask me the doubts about whatever you have about the further chapters. Okay? Now, look, the first thing on your resume is your heading of the resume. Heading should be placed at the top of the resume. Okay, okay, you want to see that slide before. Okay, here. Ashwin, I will upload this, Ashwin. Done? Okay, good. Yeah. So in the heading of your resume, you should always mention your full legal name. When I say full legal name, I don't want any short forms. Okay. All of you call me Praddy, but my full name legally is Vedula Pradyumna Sharma. Okay. So I should be writing my full legal name only. Address. Now, if you don't want to give your full address, you can just mention your city also. It depends on you, Venkat Sai Krishna. It depends on you. Ideally, because we are not Arabs. Okay, India is not an Arabic country. You should be putting your name and your address on the left hand side, but it's up to you. No one is going to penalize you for putting it on either side. Okay, yeah. Now see, Arab countries, they follow right to left handwriting, no? That's why. Yeah, it depends on what your name is. Suppose your name is Teja N, you can say N Teja N, whatever the N is, you can put that first. Like, see, my name is V Pradyumna Sharma. Okay, so I will put Vedula first, no? So that way. Then your phone number and email ID. And yeah, please remember, this is one note that I had to include after my third class of resume writing. You should never have anything funny in your email. Okay? if I'm saying Praddy Big Boy 25, that's not a good email ID to put on your resumes. Okay, I will just say Praddy Sarma or something like that. Okay, see, you guys might like Prabhas or something, so I should not say Praddy Prabhas 25. Okay, that's all very common sense, no? Yeah, but a lot of people, I am telling you, know, they just do it randomly. It's as if yeah, నేను ఇంజనీరింగ్ చదివిన నాకు ఏమొచ్చి జాబ్ ఇవ్వడా ఆడెవడు నాకు జాబ్ ఇవ్వకపోవడానికి అన్న కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ లో చాలా మంది ఏమొచ్చి రెజ్యూమే రాస్తూ ఉంటారు. అలాంటి కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ ఉంచుకోవద్దే. Yeah, you can include numbers in your resume, Nana. For example, Asha Kohli 1998 at gmail.com is a perfectly valid resume. Okay, so sorry, it's a perfectly valid email ID. Yeah, numbers in email ID is valid. There's no problem. Can heading be in the center of the page? So when I'm saying heading, it's not saying resume. Okay, now heading ante resume kada ante. This is what I mean by heading. Please ignore this crap. Okay, but yeah, this is what I mean by a heading. Okay, so John Doe, yeah, address, phone number, email ID. This is your heading part. Okay. Yes. So Guni Sethi, if you are a hacker on LinkedIn or anything, you can definitely add on your LinkedIn ID. That will be very good. No. You don't need to compulsorily mention the address. You can just give the area also. Like I can say Visakhapatnam, India. It's in the center. Again, it depends. Okay, see, a lot of people prefer to keep it in the center because that's the first thing people will look at when they open your resume, when they'll take your resume out. But ideally, this is how I put in my resumes. Praddy, or let's say Pradyumna. Okay, over here comes my phone number. All right, plus 919003731060. Okay, my address Visakhapatnam, and my email ID. This is how I organize my header space. Okay, now it depends on you what you want to do and how you want to do it. So can we attach any photo of ours to the resume? Yes, you can definitely attach the photo of yours to the resume. Okay, you don't need to worry. Are those header lines needed? No, the header lines are not needed, but look, it's looking very good, no? If you have the header lines, it's showing you clear demarcation, no? No, your name can be of more size, Nana. You can have a bigger font size for your name. Nana, about the address, you can only give city, or you can give full address also. There's no problem. Okay. Yes. If you are a hosteler and you're getting campus placement, you have to mention the hostel address. See, ఇప్పుడు నీకు ఆఫర్ లెటర్ ఎవరైనా పంపించాడు అనుకో, Maunita, if someone is sending you the offer letter, would you want that offer letter to come to you, or would you want it to go to your home? Obviously, you want that offer letter, no? So please mention your hostel address in that case. Can we write all those headings line by line? See, you have one page, Nana, Teja. Now, I request all of you, before you ask me a question, think, why should we do like this? సరేనా? మనం అసలు ఇలా చేయడానికి రీజన్ ఏంటి అన్నది ఒక్కసారి ఆలోచించండి. మనకి ఒక పేజ్ ఉన్నది కదా, మాక్సిమం టు మాక్సిమం మన దగ్గర ఒక పేజే కదా రెజ్యూమే రాయడానికి ఉన్నది. సో ఆ రెజ్యూమేలో నేను 4-5 లైన్లు వాడాను అనుకో, జస్ట్ హెడ్డింగ్ కి, మిగతావి మెన్షన్ చేయడానికి చాలా తక్కువైపోతుంది కదా నా స్పేస్. అవునా కాదా? KVS Chaitanya, I'm not going to take that question right now because I have a slide on that. You'll have to be patient. Okay? All right. Can we write our name in different colors? Sri Surya, are you trying to apply to the Power Rangers Corporation or something? Do you want to be Red Ranger or Green Ranger or something like that? Otherwise, don't write it in different colors. Okay. See, it's a resume. If you want, just take a color palette of two colors, one orange, one black, or something contrasting like that. But pair of color loni, meter of color loni, achievements ఇంకో కలర్ లోని అన్ని కలర్లు వాడదు నాన్న. బాగో చూడడానికి కూడా బాగోదు, సరేనా? So, but sometimes the offer letter can take much time. For example, if the offer letter gets after 1 year, then at that time will we have left the hostel, then what should we do? You should not join that company if he's taking you 1 year to give you that offer letter. Dude, he knows you're in the 4th year of engineering. That guy is coming to your campus to take you to his company, dude. Why will he give you an offer letter after 1 year? He'll give you the offer letter before joining letter will come after 6-7 months if you're for TCS or something. Guys, so this is one big problem I'm having with a lot of engineering students these days. Guys, please get aware about how jobs work. Okay? మనం 10th చదివేమా, 10th తర్వాత ఏంటి 12th, సరే ఓకే. 12th అయిపోయిందా, దాని తర్వాత ఏంటి ఇంజనీరింగ్, సరే ఓకే. ఇంజనీరింగ్ అయిపోయింది, దాని తర్వాత జాబ్, లేకపోతే MBA, సరే ఓకే. అలా కాదురా. ఒకసారి కూర్చుని అసలు మనం ఎందుకు చేస్తున్నాం, ఏం చేస్తున్నాం, అది చేయడం వల్ల ఉపయోగం ఏంటి అన్నది ఒక్కసారి కూర్చుని ఆలోచించండి రా. ఇప్పుడు రోజంతా ఖాళీనే కదా, ఒక్కసారి కూర్చుని ఆలోచించండి. లేకపోతే చూడండి, ఆఫ్టర్ ఇంజనీరింగ్ ఆల్సో యూ విల్ కమ్ టు అ పాయింట్ వేర్ యూ విల్ వర్క్ ఫర్ 4-5 years. No, Kaza, it's not only about you, Kaza. I remember you, Kaza, from the EC seminar hall. Okay, it's not only about you. Okay, I'm talking about a lot of engineering students. It's just that, okay, resume రాయాలి, ఎందుకు జాబ్ కావాలి, ఆ జాబ్ ఎందుకు కావాలో మనకు తెలియదు, ఆబ్జెక్టివ్ ఏమొచ్చి ఎందుకు రాయాలో మనకు తెలియదు. అట్లాంటిది కాదు నాన్న, ఒక్కసారి ఆలోచించండి. నేను ఇది చదివాను, నాకు ఇలాంటి జాబ్ కావాలి, వాడు నాకు ఈ జాబ్ ఇవ్వాలంటే నేను ఏంటి చెయ్యాలి? కొంచెం మనం కూర్చొని ఆలోచిస్తే కామ్ గాను మనకి అన్నిట్లోనే మీనింగ్ తెలుస్తుంది అన్న. ఓకే అంజలి, గివ్ మీ 1 minute Nana. I'll clarify your doubt. See, I know your name is M. Kameshwari Durga Anjali. Okay, it is very lengthy, so you can definitely write MKD Anjali. Okay, there's no problem in that. Sarina? Look, I'm addressing every single person who is texting me their doubt. Don't worry. I see. Me and Girish sir spoke in the morning only. He asked me, should this be a 2-hour session? Now I told him, don't worry, sir. I will take more number of sessions, but keep it 1 hour only, because a lot of people lose interest after 1 hour. Okay, so that's completely fine. I will give you resume writing tomorrow also. Okay, don't worry. But always try to understand why I am telling this particular thing. మీకు అర్థం కాకుండా మీరు రెజ్యూమేలు రాసుకుని నాకు పంపించారు అనుకోండి, నేను అది చూసి బాగోలేదు, ఇది మార్చు అని నేను చెప్పగలుగుతాను, కానీ అది ఎందుకు మార్చాలో మీకు తెలియదు అప్పటికి. దానివల్ల ఏమైనా ఉపయోగం ఉందా? మనం 3-4 సార్లు పని చేసుకోవడం తప్ప ఏమైనా ఉపయోగం ఉంటుందా? ఉండదు కదా. అందుకు అర్థం చేసుకొని మీరు రాసుకున్న తర్వాత నాకు డౌట్స్ అడిగితే మీకు కూడా మంచిగా ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, anyways, what is an objective and why should we have this objective? First of all, keep your objective very, 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 very short. Okay, look, a hiring manager does not want to know a lot of things about you. Okay, so make sure your objective is not more than 150 words. The worst of the worst resumes, and I'm telling this to you because of my last company I went to hire people who've done MSc in physics and MSc in chemistry. Okay, నాకేం వచ్చు అంటే నాకు బాగానే వచ్చు ఫిజిక్స్ కెమిస్ట్రీ. ఓకే, బట్ ద హోల్ పాయింట్ ఇస్ దే రైట్ అ లాట్. నేను ఈ టెక్నాలజీస్ లో వర్క్ చేశాను, అందుకు నేను ఇలా చేయాలనుకుంటున్నాను, ఇది చేశాను అందుకు అలా చేయాలనుకుంటున్నాను. అవన్నీ అవసరం లేదు. ఐ వాంట్ టు నో వాట్ ఈస్ యువర్ ఆబ్జెక్టివ్. మీరు ఏది చేశారు, ఎందుకు చేశారు, అంతే. ఓకే, సో కెన్ వి యూస్ ఆన్లైన్ రెజ్యూమే మేకర్స్ ఫర్ ప్రిపేరింగ్ రెజ్యూమే? Ideally yes, but I suggest do it on Word. Okay, online resume makers, most of them, if they are free, they won't be good. The templates are copied. So see, the thing is, if I'm giving you the same thing to eat every single day, ఓకే కామేశ్వర్, నీకు రోజు నేను పిజ్జా పెట్టాను అనుకో, కొన్ని రోజుల తర్వాత నువ్వు కూడా పిజ్జా నుంచి బోర్ అయిపోతావు. అలాగా ఒక రోజులో నీ పాపం ఒక హెచ్ఆర్ మేనేజర్ 500 రెజ్యూమెన్స్ చూసాడు అనుకోరా, అందరూ సేమ్ ఆన్లైన్ రెజ్యూమే నుంచి కాపీ కొట్టారు అనుకో, ఆడికి బోర్ కొడుతుందా కొట్టదా? సో దట్ గై won't be really interested in picking any of you. Okay, so my suggestion is do it on Word, Photoshop, either of these softwares. Make good resumes for yourself here. Okay, have some more interest. Good, good. Yes. Second, Bhavita, నేను అసలు ఏమొచ్చి ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ద రెజ్యూమే దాకా వచ్చాను అన్న. ఇస్ డిక్లరేషన్ మ్యాండేటరీ అట్ ద ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ద రెజ్యూమే నువ్వు అడగడానికి నేను ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ద రెజ్యూమే దాకా వచ్చాను. ఇంకా రెజ్యూమే స్టార్టింగ్ లో కదా ఉందాం మనం. రేపు ఏమైనా కంపెనీకి అప్లై చేస్తున్నావు నాన్న నువ్వు భవిత? మరి ఎందుకు నన్న కంగారు? చూడు, రజనీకాంత్ చెప్పినట్టు అతిగా ఆశపడిన మగవాడు అతిగా ఆవేశపడిన ఆడిది ఎప్పుడు 10th లో సక్సెస్ అవ్వలేదు. మనం కామ్గా క్లాస్ ఉంటే మనకు అన్నీ తెలుస్తాయి, సరేనా? ఓకే, నౌ లుక్, ద సెకండ్ పార్ట్ అబౌట్ యువర్ ఆబ్జెక్టివ్ ఇస్ what is in it for me. See, always remember here, your resume is a sales pitch for you to get hired. Okay, that guy is going to listen to you for 15 minutes and decide whether or not he should hire you. Okay, and him remembering you, that will happen from your resume only. Okay, so provide enough information to get that hiring manager very interested in you. Okay, see, you should put enough information for him to think that yes, I want to talk to this guy. Okay, so start your one line objective. Your objective should be only of one line. Okay, it should highlight all the specific skills you want to utilize in that job. Fair enough? For example, if you want a job as a software engineer, highlight skills like algorithm design, లాజికల్ థింకింగ్, ఇలాంటి స్కిల్స్ అన్ని హైలైట్ చేయండి ఆబ్జెక్టివ్ లో. ఓకే, సరే. అండ్ ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ వాంటింగ్, ఇఫ్ యూ థింక్ యూ షుడ్ పుట్ ఇన్ అకాంప్లిష్మెంట్స్, ఐ డోంట్ సజెస్ట్ టు పుట్ అకాంప్లిష్మెంట్స్ in your objective, but if you are putting accomplishments, then make sure that the accomplishments have specific and quantified results. Okay, that means if someone asks me that can I put 10th standard school captain or something, no? So if you are putting anything you want to mention like 10th standard school captain or something, talk about leadership skills. Don't tell me you've been a school captain. Tell me I have gained leadership skills. Okay, that will be better. Fair enough? Now the third point about your objective is that you have to be very, very specific. See, objectives should not ever talk anything more about you than to get that person interested in you. Okay? See, that person only wants to know how qualified you are, what all can you do to take that company to a success, and what will you gain by that. Okay, now basically కంపెనీ ఎందుకు జాయిన్ అవ్వాలి, ఆ కంపెనీ జాయిన్ అవ్వడం వల్ల లేకపోతే వాడిని తీసుకోవడం వల్ల కంపెనీకి బెనిఫిట్ ఏంటి, నువ్వు ఆ కంపెనీలో వర్క్ చేయడం వల్ల నీకు బెనిఫిట్ ఏంటి. ఓకే, సో పర్సనల్ బెనిఫిట్. These are the only 3 things that that person is looking at. Okay, am I clear about objectives? Now these are a few example objectives. Okay, obviously I've taken this from the internet. All right, so please, I am begging you, don't copy this. Do not copy this into your resume. చూడండి, అర్థం చేసుకోండి, పర్లేదు, కాపీ మాత్రం కొట్టద్దు. Now I finished the class about objectives. If you have any doubt about objectives, please ask me. So no doubts about objectives. So can the third objective satisfy the HR? I'm currently looking for a full-time position in an environment that offers a greater challenge, increased benefits for my family, and the opportunity to help the company advance efficiently. Yeah, why not? What's wrong with that, Nana? Srika Satish, give an instance how poor people can give nice objective. Talk about the technologies in that company that you are comfortable with and the skills that you have developed using those technologies. So that will satisfy them. Can we mention leadership qualities in an objective? You can see, you can mention that you have leadership qualities and you are going to use those leadership qualities in the company that will take you in. But ideally, you have the skills section to mention about all these leadership qualities and all. No, no, no. All right. Now the next part is about your education, and I think there is no mention of the skills mentioned and there's no reference to that. Okay, so see, in those objectives, no, there's no skills mentioned, but you can put leadership and all when you're getting down into the skills section. Okay, yeah. So look, your education and work experience, these are three most important parts that you put. Okay, but nowadays a fourth part is also added because see, a lot of you are graduating at the same time. Put in your CGPA also. Okay, so these are four things that you should put in the educational history, and your work experience. You have to include your job title, which company you worked for, and the number of years you worked for them. Yeah, it's the same thing for an internship also. So will the first objective is relevant in resume for applying in an internship. Tejaswari, write your objective yourself and send it to me. I will evaluate it. Okay? Don't copy that objective. Sir, I don't get why HR be attracted when we boast of ourselves, even though without being talking to us, and he is not yet assessed us. Dude, the spelling that you've written is as does. It should be assessed us. This is with the reference to second objective. Now, the thing about this point that you made, Subramaniam, is that the HR does not want to meet all of you. Okay? He only wants to meet those people who he thinks are fit to work in his company. And when you're putting your skills in the resume, it's not boasting. That's what I'm telling you. Don't boast your skills. Just mention it and leave it. Okay? So if that skill is really required by the HR, he'll only call you. Okay? See, I don't need to meet someone to like them or not like them, Nana. For example, Subramaniam, Tinder is the best example where you don't need to meet someone to like or dislike them. Okay? You first right swipe them, no? Then only you meet them, no? The same way you first send a resume. If they like the resume, only then you meet them. Okay? But as a fresher, you don't have any work experience. Hey, no, you have internship experiences, guys. You've done projects and internships, no? Okay. Uh, Pravalika, send that to me on WhatsApp or on email. Okay. Yeah, yeah. You should mention the passing out degree, passing out year. Yeah, you should. Okay. Now, see, a lot of people get a small confusion that I don't know how to write good English, so my content is very bad. Our internship time is currently taken away by Corona. Na? Okay, do one thing. Mention that in the resume and tell that in my home I did household domestic course internship. Okay. లేకపోతే కరోనా అయిపోయిన తర్వాత ఇంటర్న్షిప్ చేయొచ్చు కదా నువ్వు మనోహరి చేయొచ్చు కదమ్మా నువ్వు కరోనా అయిపోయిన తర్వాత ఇంటర్న్షిప్ ఎందుకు కంగారు పడతాడు అంటే ఈ టైంలోనే చేయాలని ఎవడైనా స్పెసిఫై చేశాడే ఏంటి డిసెంబర్ లో కూడా నీకేమో చదవలు దొరుకుతాయి కదా డిసెంబర్ లో కూడా చేయొచ్చు కదా explain about previous work experience. See, so if you worked in any online internships కూడా చేయొచ్చు, దానికి ఏం ప్రాబ్లం లేదు. Anyways, Teja, so if you worked in any company before, that is your work experience నాన్న. సో ఏ కంపెనీలో పనిచేసావు, ఎప్పటి నుంచి ఎప్పటి వరకు పనిచేసావు, నీ జాబ్ టైటిల్ ఏంటి? సపోజ్ ఐ వాజ్ వర్కింగ్ యాజ్ అ సిఓ. ఓకే, సో దాట్ వాజ్ మై జాబ్ టైటిల్. లేకపోతే ఇంగ్లీష్ టీచర్ అనుకోండి, ఇంగ్లీష్ టీచర్ ఇస్ మై జాబ్ టైటిల్. సరేనా? అట్లా అవన్నీ మెన్షన్ చేయాలి అంటున్నారు. ఓకే, now look at this original sentence. The original sentence is created operations training exercise evaluation program for senior division level management. ఒకవేళ ఇలాంటిది ఏదైనా సెంటెన్స్ నా దగ్గర ఉన్నది అనుకోండి, చాలా చిన్నదిగా, చాలా ఇది క్లమ్జీగా ఉన్నది కదా అంటే నాకేం సరిగ్గా అర్థం కావట్లేదు దీంట్లో. అదే నేనేమో వచ్చి దీన్ని యాక్షన్ బేస్ తోటి ఎడిట్ చేశాను అనుకోండి. What do I mean by action based? I will only specify what I have done and for how long I have done. Okay. No, you should mention that you are pursuing BTech, not completed. Okay. Now I can say I constructed a 12-month training exercise. See this thing, same thing. Let me say this is part 1. Okay, so here I'm putting part 1 again. For how many years I've done that also I'll show you. Because why? I have so much experience in it. Okay. So if you're elaborating things like this, it'll be easier for you to get a job. Now, this is one of the resume formats that I've gotten. Okay. If you look at this, this is a reverse chronological resume. Look, this part is your header. Yeah. This part is your objective. This is your reverse chronology, 2006 to present, 2004 to 2006. Okay. Now look how he's conveniently highlighting his experience before. Why? Because this guy has previous work experience. But if you do not fall into this category, take this and put this after your software. Okay, take this and put it after all of it. Okay, so look, education, you can either mention it this way, or another good way to mention an education is to make a small table. Okay, this table will have year, university, standard, board of education, and percentage gained. Okay, so this is one of the resume formats. Now this is a reverse chronological resume template that I usually prefer for you guys. Okay, again, if you do not have enough work experience, that is completely fine. Remove the work experience part and push your education forward. If you're pushing your education forward, the skills can come onto this side also. Okay, that will be easier for you. Now look at this, look at this. Because this guy is experienced, his header does not even have city and phone number over here. Instead, he's given a special tab called as personal info. Okay, no, projects don't come under work experience. You can just have a side tab known as projects now. You can have another tab known as projects and internships. After your academics, you can put projects and internships. Okay. All right. Now, this is a functional resume template. Tarun, my phone number is 900-373-1060. Okay. All right. Now, this is a functional resume. Look, He has given you a very, very detailed objective that this is exactly what I want to do. Then look, instead of education and work experience, he has his skills summary. He is actually showing these are all my skills and this is how I've developed it. Contact information becomes your header in this case. Okay, in this case, it can be header. Can I zoom up? Can I actually zoom a slideshow? Just give me a minute. Yeah. Yeah, figured it out. So look at this. So when I'm zooming, I can't use a pen, huh? But okay. So this contact information becomes your header. Now look, what job is he trying to apply to? He's applying for a public relations specialist. Yeah. Now a public relations specialist, he needs to be very creative. He needs to be constantly onto social media. So look how he's giving his Twitter handle also. That reminds me, you guys can also follow me on Twitter. Uh, it's @ Parody Sharma. Okay. So even on that, I keep posting my stuff. So you can follow me on Twitter as well. But yeah, as I was saying, look at this guy. Okay. Because he's a social media and relationships person, look at all his skills. I've just given you my WhatsApp number. No, wait, I'll just put it in the audio chat. So that's my WhatsApp number. But anyways, yeah. So as a social media person, look at all the skills. He's good at research. He's good at writing. Yes. He's good at creativity. He's good at social media relations. That means look at his presence. Look at how many platforms he's present in. And his time management. Now, his education, just look at his education. He's not even telling you about 10th, 12th and all. He's just telling you that he's done a master's in arts and journalism and social communications. Yeah. So that is how you have to develop a functional resume, Nana. All right. So this is all about resumes. Now, there was someone who was asking me about declaration at the end of the resume, no? Who was that? I forgot. Someone was asking me about declaration at the end of the resumes. Ah, yeah, Bhavita. Correct. In any of the resumes that I showed you, did you see any declaration, Nana? Yes, that is because you don't need to put it at the end of your resume or anywhere in your resume. Look, if you are not honest enough to normally submit all the correct information in your resume, you just writing it over there only gives me legal precedent to jail you if I find anything is wrong on that paper. Okay. Now, when were declarations used? Declarations and cover letters were used. Yeah, you can definitely put your GitHub profile in the header, Anna. Okay, GitHub profile in the header will be very good. Okay, no, even in CV, declaration is not required. I'll tell you. Just give me a minute. I'll tell you. Okay, before I answer that, there's one more important question that I need to answer. Someone is asking me, can I mention work experience that I've left without completing required years for my experience certificate? Vishal, I completely feel you. Okay, I understand. But if there's no certificate, no one will believe you work. Okay, I'm very sorry to say this. I understand you worked. I understand you must have done a lot of stuff for that company. But if that shitty company has not given you your work experience certificate, I can't believe you worked in that company. Okay, so I'm really sorry to put that forward, but yeah, that's how it happens in India, man. Okay. Anyways, Aditya, what should be the experience part when I'm applying for my first intern? Nothing, zero. Don't put the experience part at all. Yes. Kameshwar, good. Thank you for asking me that. Yes, you should always change your resume depending on the company. Okay. See, you should go to the career section of the company, look at what kind of skills they are asking, and then change your career. What do you say? And then change your what would you say, objective and your information on the resume. Okay, that is the best thing that you can do. Now, anyways, Bhavita, coming back to your question, మనం పాతకాలంలోని రెజ్యూమే అదిను న్యూస్ పేపర్ ఆర్టికల్ చూసి పంపించేవాళ్ళం అన్న. సో వాళ్ళకి ఆ రెజ్యూమే పంపించినప్పుడు నువ్వు ఏదైనా తప్పు రాసి పంపించావనుకో, వాళ్ళు నేను ఇంటర్వ్యూ పిలిచారనుకో, నీకు ట్రావెలింగ్ వేస్ట్, వాళ్ళకి టైం వేస్ట్. దట్ ఈస్ వై యూ యూస్ టు పుట్ దట్ డిక్లరేషన్. జనాలు అప్డేట్ అవ్వలేదు అప్పటి నుంచి, అలా డిక్లరేషన్ పెట్టుకుంటూనే వెళ్తున్నారు. బట్ వెన్ దట్ guy is coming to your campus, he's looking at the college you are in, he are showing him the certificates. ఇంకెందుకు నన్ను డిక్లరేషన్ పెట్టాను, నేనేమో రాసిందంతా కరెక్ట్ అని అది కనిపిస్తుంది కదా. సో అవసరం లేదు. ఓకేనా? Now, can I send what some people are asking me some questions? Is web surfing an hobby? Yeah, it's a hobby, but again, if you're blogging and all, then only write it. Otherwise, there's no point. If we are doing a project right now, can we write about the project? Yeah, obviously you can write about that project. So what about the photo? On which side we have to keep? Wait, I did not put the photo wala thing, yeah? Okay, so see, do you see this small gap over here? Sorry, not there. That was my pen's bad. Okay, so over here, use a circular photo over here, only in the header. Okay, are certificates from Udemy valid? Yes, certificates from Udemy are valid. And so to mention the internship, will the subheadings of domain and company be sufficient? Yes, they'll be sufficient, Nana. Okay, I don't have any specific hobbies, so what can I mention hobbies? Go get hobbies, my friend. If you don't want to do anything, then don't mention anything. Otherwise, start getting a few hobbies. Like you can start reading one book, no? ఒక్క బుక్ చదివినా కొంచెం మ్యూజిక్ విన్నా అది హాబీనే నాన్న. Can I place hobby as seeing movies? Yeah, don't place it as seeing movies, place it as analyzing the plot of a movie. చూడు, మనం ఏదో పని చేసాం కదా అని అలా ఏదో పనుల కింద చెప్పక్కర్లేదు దాన్ని, సరేనా? మూవీస్ చూడటం కాదు, నువ్వు ఆ మూవీలోని అనలైజ్ చేసి ఆ స్టోరీ ఎలా వెళ్తుందో అది నీ హాబీ అనమాట. అర్థమైందా? ఓకే, alright. So can playing PUBG and watching web series be hobbies? అరే బాబు శ్రీనివాస్, నీకు జాబ్ కావాలో వద్దా? అలా కాదు, నేను పబ్జీ ఆడుకుంటూ కూర్చుంటాను రోజంతా అంటే నీకు ఎవడరా జాబ్ ఇస్తాడు? ఆలోచించరా. You should not mention any type of negative in your resume. This is not an interview class. Interview classes, Suraj will be the best guy to tell you about interview classes because he takes interviews on a daily basis. Okay, I rarely take interviews when Suraj is not free. That's the only time I take interviews. But Suraj will be the best person to talk to you about interview classes. So if you have any doubt about interview specifically, you can just talk to Suraj because that's not a class that needs to be taken at all. Okay, just talk to Suraj about what is an interview, or like if you have any specific doubts, text him. Okay. If you are in Toastmasters Club, how can you present it? You say Toastmasters from year to year and whatever was your designation. Maybe you were in the Beta Club, or if you were in the Zeta Club, or Alpha Club of Toastmasters, where you were the message handler, or maybe you were the topic curator, or you were the content curator. Toastmasters have all these things, no? So you can put those. Can we mention career objective at the end of the resume? Again, why? Why would you want to do that? You want people to see your objective at the start, no? But చూడగానే నీ ఆబ్జెక్టివ్ నచ్చి నేను పిలవాలి కదా. నువ్వు లాస్ట్ లో పెడితే ఆడికి ఉపయోగం ఏంటి, నీకు ఉపయోగం ఏంటన్నా? యా, లిస్నింగ్ టు మ్యూజిక్ ఇస్ అన్ హాబీ. నాన్న అంజలి, స్ట్రెంగ్స్ వీక్నెస్ రెజ్యూమేలో అస్సలు పెట్టకూడదు. పెట్టినా ఉపయోగం లేదు. నువ్వు కావాలంటే పెట్టుకో, స్ట్రెంగ్స్ పెట్టుకో, అంతేగాని వీక్నెస్ పెట్టద్దే. So writing stories is a hobby. Yes. Writing stories is a very good hobby because it shows your creativity. Yeah, playing drums is a hobby, playing guitar is a hobby, all of that is hobby. Okay. So many doubts. Yeah, you can put listening to songs and all in your resume, Nana. Habits should be professional. They can be personal also, no problem. Yeah, you can write hobbies as good analyzer, but I mean, see, if you're saying good analyzer, what's the proof? Yes, achievements you should always put in it. Okay, yeah, playing cricket, reading novels, drawing, all of these are hobbies. Okay, if you don't have achievements till now, then what should we do? రాయొద్దు అందులో అడిగేది ఏముందన్న శివకుమార్ ఇప్పుడు అచీవ్మెంట్స్ లేకపోతే ఇప్పుడు అయితే కొత్తగా అచీవ్మెంట్స్ తెచ్చుకోవాలి లేకపోతే రాయడం వదిలేయాలి అంతే కదా అంతేకాని తప్పు తప్పు అచీవ్మెంట్స్ రాయకూడదు రోయ్ మా మమ్మీ నన్ను ఎమోషన్ అందరికంటే బెస్ట్ పిల్లడు అన్నది అదొక అచీవ్మెంట్ అని రాస్తే బాగోదు సరేనా ఐఎమ్ ద బెస్ట్ బాయ్ అమాంగ్స్ట్ ఆల్ మై బ్రదర్స్ అలాంటివి రాయకూడదు అన్న ఓకే సో కెన్ వి మెన్షన్ ఫోటోగ్రఫీ యాజ్ అ హాబీ యా డెఫినెట్లీ యూ కెన్ మెన్షన్ ఫోటోగ్రఫీ యాజ్ హాబీ I have a certificate in fine arts diploma from Hindu Banaras University. Can I add that? Yeah, obviously. Dude, anything like that, you should be, putting at top with your skills or your achievements. Solving puzzles is a hobby, yeah. Participation in workshops comes under which category? It comes under your skills only. Okay. Or if that's giving you a certificate, then in certificates category. Yes, cooking is a hobby. Especially during quarantine, it's a very good hobby also. No, I said you should never put any negative hobbies. ఇదిగో నేను ప్యాక్ ఆడతాను రోజంతా నేను గేమ్లు ఆడుకుంటూ కూర్చుంటాను అలాంటివన్నీ హాబీస్ కింద పెట్టకూడదు అని నా మీనింగ్ ఓకేనా యా కోడింగ్ ప్రొఫైల్ షుడ్ బి మెన్షన్ ఇన్ విచ్ సెక్షన్ యర్ స్కిల్ సెక్షన్ నాన్న ఆర్గనైజింగ్ థింగ్స్ ఇన్ హోమ్ ఇస్ నాట్ అ హాబీ ఇట్స్ సంథింగ్ ఎవ్రీవన్ ఇస్ సపోజ్ టు డూ irrespective of which gender they belong to. Yes, doing yoga is a hobby. Getting second in state level competitions, you can mention that. Definitely, you can mention that. Address is not compulsory, Vinita. You can just give your state or your city also. Yes, you can mention all the certifications after objective, but I don't suggest you to do that. I suggest you to tell about your education after objective. Can I mention fishing as a hobby? Arun Kumar, so had this been US, I would have been very, very inclined for you to mention fishing as a hobby. But in India, I don't know a lot of people who fish regularly. So, yeah, if you're going to fish regularly, wow, that's a good hobby, man. It'll be very unique hobby also. National wide exam ranks ante JEE la ఎంత వచ్చింది అలాంటివి రాయొద్దే See, if you have work experience in core and if your job profile or job that you're applying to is non-core, then don't specifically put that out there. Just mention it as a work experience. Yeah, language is known. It's always better to write. If you are a part of a club or college, you should mention it in the achievements. See, if you have taken a 1-year gap, I suggest you go for a functional resume, okay? All right, guys, please redirect all the other doubts onto my WhatsApp. Okay, I have another class to take. So please make sure that you are sending me all your doubts onto my WhatsApp. I'll be responding to them after my classes by 8 o'clock. All right. Okay. Thank you for your time. Take care. Bye-bye.